It is Halloween night in downtown Phoenix, and after the Greek Freaks were tricked late in the fourth quarter against the Savages last week, they look to be back in the win column and hopefully getting some treats as they take on the Blue Jays tonight at the Sun Devil Fitness Complex. Good evening, everyone. I'm Mahirson Hassan, and welcome to the studio just a few minutes before tip-off here in the second game of the season for the Greek Freaks. As I mentioned before, things did not go in their favor last time out against the Savages, but they're looking for a big change coming up. Speaking of which, let's head to the highlights. It started off in the first quarter, a very sloppy game overall from both sides. A lot of players just trying to get a feel for the game, including Henry Smarto, as you see him put this one up and in. The second quarter started to be more in favor of the Greek Freaks, starting to get the wheels turning, led 20-16 at half, especially off that front court. And hey, I talk about the front court. It was the Henry Smarto show in the third quarter as he drove to the bucket, getting fouls, getting rebounds, and especially off a great defensive effort as well. But in the fourth quarter, it took a turn for the worse, especially knowing the Savages were able to come out and really show out at the rim. They went on a 19-0 run in the fourth quarter to win the game 40-34. Also in that fourth quarter was a very sloppy Greek Freak side on the offensive, especially with turnovers. Only 10 overall, especially after what was a clean first three quarters. Another big stat from that game, Henry Smarto with the first ever double-double in Greek Freaks history, going for 11 points and 15 rebounds. And his fellow forward, Kavish Siddhartha, went for 8 points and 12 rebounds. Again, a much more diverse group and a much more front court-based lineup, especially under head coach Andrew Durst, that is much likely changed from last year. Looking at the backcourt, you had Abe Mogelson with 10 points and 5 rebounds. Abe led the team, had 54 points last season. He's starting to get back into rhythm. Wasn't at 100%. He looks to be better later tonight. Now let's take a look at our injury report. Again, as I mentioned in the first broadcast last week, Jacob Mitkoff out on the IR. He is going to be the assistant coach alongside Durst. And then you look at two updates from the game last week. Jason Wright, one of the two newcomers, is out with an ankle injury, and Phineas Hogan with a finger injury is listed as doubtful. We'll see what ends up happening. It's a game-time decision for right now. And let's take a look at the stats for this one. 56% from the free throw line the Greek Freaks went. Again, much better than last year where they were 48%. Three-point shooting was much better as well. Not too many errant chances as we saw last year, especially later in games where it seemed like a desperation. In a close game like what we saw last week, they went 3 for 13 and 23% overall. Another interesting stat, and again, a new record in Greek Freak history, 41 rebounds on the day, which is a very big case and a lot better play overall, especially in that front end. Now, I did mention the two players, Wright and Hogan, who will be out, and there could be a chance for two guys that did not get too much playing time last week. Eric Matsumoto, who mustered 0 minutes, was doing well on the bench. He has a chance to come in, especially knowing his 5'5", 102-pound caliber, has a chance to really sift through the defense and maybe get some open looks at the basket. And then I go back to Luke Foster, who was the captain of this team in Season 1, only had 2 minutes in the game, but he does have a chance, especially if he can get out open on the wings and on the corners to shoot some threes, if that is possible. Now the Blue Jays, the Greek Freaks opponent this week, won 44-42 just a few days ago, and it was a close game down the stretch. They also only had 5 players playing in that game, so a much different caliber compared to a Greek Freak side that on the ASU Intramural League website listed as 12, now moving towards 10 players for this game. And speaking of this game, it's going to be an interesting tactile approach for head coach Andrew Durst. I'll have a new segment coming up called Coach's Corner, where we'll toss it down to our sideline reporter Mahirson Hassan to get Durst's thoughts on this upcoming game. Thanks, Mahir. I'm outside the Sun Devil Fitness Complex here in downtown Phoenix with head coach Andrew Durst. Coach, thanks for joining me.
It's great to be here, Mahir.
Absolutely. Now, when you look at the game last week, was not a pretty ending in that one as you guys did not muster a single point. What needs to change for you guys to get back in the win column?
I mean, first of all, that fourth quarter, it's not okay. We cannot commit, 10 turnovers in the fourth. We got to be cleaner with the ball. We have to get good shots off. We just have to play smarter basketball. It's as simple as that.
Absolutely. And when you look at the smarter players on this team, one of those guys, Henry Smarto, who had a double-double, first double-double in Greek Freaks history, again, complementing well with Kavish Siddhartha, who also had a great day. What have you seen from them? Because last year, this was a very big team that had a great backcourt, but the front court struggled for a while. What changed this year?
I mean, first of all, we have Kavish. He's playing a lot more down low. He's playing the 4, playing the 3, down low, getting rebounds. That's what he does. We were playing him more at guard last year, and he didn't play much for us last year. And then Henry, I mean, he was a great player last year. Baby Jokic, man, he's gotten better this offseason. I mean, you can tell he's been putting in the work, and I'm just so excited to see what he can do. Maybe a triple-double upcoming this game.
You never know, especially knowing the type of production that can happen down low. Now, we're talking earlier about the type of depth that we're seeing. And again, as I mentioned, Luke Foster, Eric Matsumoto, guys that didn't get that much playing time, but are going to get some chances, some reps. What do you see from them, and how trustworthy are you with your bench right now?
I mean, obviously, the bench is depleted. We have some injuries there that are going to be tough, but I trust these guys. I trust this team. Not a lot of minutes. I'm definitely going to give these guys more minutes this week, and I'm going to play the hot hand. So if somebody like maybe Eric Matsumoto, Luke Foster, Declan balls out, they're going to play. We only have 8 guys suiting up as of now. Finn Hogan questionable, doubtful even. I think they can provide a lot of spark to this team. Luke Foster can shoot the 3, and I'm hoping we can count on that tonight.
Absolutely. And tonight is Halloween. Again, a lot of trick-or-treating, a lot of candy. A little bit of a grab bag question for you, Coach. Yeah. What is your favorite candy?
Twix. And we're going to be spooky tonight. Show up, costumed up. Come on.
Just a few minutes before tip-off here, right outside the Sun Devil Fitness Complex. Greek Freaks trying to get to their first win of the fall 2023 season. Back to you, Mihir. Thanks, Mihir. Great thoughts from head coach Andrew Durst as he leads out the Greek Freaks for their second game of this 2023 season here in fall. Let's send it out to the Sun Devil Fitness Complex just a block away from here. For the call, Mihir Sinhasan. Thanks, Mihir. Well, when these guys were younger, they were out trick-or-treating or going to parties on Halloween. Well, tonight, they have a party here at the Sun Devil Fitness Complex, starting up in a few minutes as they take on the Blue Jays in their second game of this season. Hello, everyone. I'm Mihir Sinhasan. Thanks for tuning in on Halloween night here from downtown Phoenix. A lot going on, including the D-backs in the World Series. They lost by a big margin. The Greek Freaks hoping that they can get the opposite result tonight. You mentioned in the pregame that there were some changes, a few people on IR. A little update to the squad most recently. Declan Lambrila is also out for the game, but Jacob Midkoff, who, as I mentioned before, and Mihir mentioned before, listed on IR, he could possibly be playing in this one. As right now, listed on the bench, but he is getting some practice in and hopefully trying to work off some of the dislocation in the shoulder that he had and what kept him out of game 1 earlier in this season. Starting 5 getting ready to come out on the court here. So let's take a look at the starting lineups. Again, no Finn Hogan in this one, but the rest of the 4 remain the same. Abe Mogelson, Henry Smarto, Kavish Siddhartha, and Tom Penn. Jack McCarthy, the man from Memphis, Tennessee, is going to be joining them in at the 5. And for the other side, our visitors today, technically speaking, the Blue Jays, as you've got number 20, number 12, number 53, number 51, and number 21. 21 will go up against Henry in the center court. Halloween night, tricks or treats here. What is an all too quiet Sun Devil Fitness Complex. In for a spooky good matchup as we're underway. The Greek Freaks going from left to right in the maroon, and you've got Blue Jays going from right to left in the gold as Jack's 3 will be up and no good. Henry with the rebound, backing it out. Abe's calling for it on the right wing. Up against 53, down the baseline, reverses, no good. And that was a problem for Abe Mogelson in the last game. Did not have the best of days, only 10 for him, as 12 will pivot out towards 20. 20 will circle around, off to 12. On the charity stripe, 21, 12. Right corner, and there's the first points of the day. 3-0 in favor of the Blue Jays that won 44-42 last week. As here comes Tom the other side, his 3 rings off the back part of the rim. Approaching a minute into this one. Again, a reminder, you've got 4 8-minute quarters as 21 will hit this mid-range jumper. So already out to a 5-0 lead are the visitors. Kavish. Driving, spinning, can't get it to go. Henry gets it up and in, no foul, but nonetheless, first points of the day for Greek Freaks. Henry Smarto, the man to do it. Again, the man who had 11 points and 15 rebounds in their game last week. The first double-double in Greek Freaks history. I talked to head coach Andrew Durst in Coach's Corner. He said there's a possibility we could see a triple-double tonight as we see number 12 bank that one in. Tom? Double team. Nice give and go. Top of the key in space. Decides to shoot it. He's got it. Tom Penn, after what was a pretty rough day for him, 0 points in the first game despite many shots. He gets his first points for the Greek Freaks on that three. 21-20. Trying to go down low. Spinning. Can't get it up and in. Last touched by the Greek Freaks. Henry Smarto was walking off to the other side of the court thinking it would go in favor of the Greek Freaks. It didn't. 20 for the inbound. Here's 21. 5:34 left to go in this first quarter. 2, no good. He's been trying to get from that free throw line. It hasn't worked so far. Here comes Kavish. Tom on 12. Tom laying it up, jiggles around, no good. 21 with the rebound. We're starting to see the key players in this one, especially over these first few minutes, as here's 12. Spinning off to 21. Down low, triple teamed. Out to 20 on the left wing, no good. Batted back towards Jack. Jack tried to go behind the back there to Abe. Did not work out well. Something they've been trying to work on in practice. Again, head coach Andrew Durst has been preaching so many of the players to start practicing, just hooping in general, even casually as well during the season, trying to build some chemistry. 12 down low, travel call. 4:37, Blue Jays lead at 9-5. 2 from Henry Smarto and a 3 from Tom Penn, who takes it up court here for the Greek Freaks. Up high, can't find quarterback to wide receiver. Interesting play there, as here comes 12 on the break. Dances inside, he's got it. Double team is not working well. You want to stop him there. Abe sees a lane, takes the lane, gets it in the basket. Textbook work there from Abe Mogelson. Again, using much more mobility. Is at 100% tonight, as I mentioned in the pregame show. Much more energy, energetic, passionate, everything. 20. Might have been deflected by Abe, doesn't matter. So far, an offensive game so far. 13-7, a much different game than what we saw last week, where it was 9-4 at the end of the first quarter. 3:35 left. Jack, left wing 3, off. Kavish taps it back to Abe. Top of the key, no good. Can they get 3? No. 51. Stopped in his tracks. Tom with the press. Out towards 21, knocked by Abe, and it's going to be the first foul of the day for Abe Mogelson. So number 21 heads to the line for the visiting Blue Jays. As I mentioned before, Abe Mogelson picking up his first foul of the day. Had 5 fouls in the last game, 5 of 10 for the Greek Freaks, fouling out with a few minutes to go, as this one is ringed off. Abe fouling out last game was the first time we had ever seen a Greek Freak foul out in their 3 seasons. As we see Jack McCarthy head to the bench, and Luke Foster check into the game. Second one, also missed, 0 for 2, rebounded by 53, put away no good, back towards 20. He is desperately trying to get something there. Back out towards 21, the shooter. 51, 2:25 left. 12, 3, airballed. Luke leaves it. The Greek Freaks with a chance. Biggest thing Andrew Durst mentioned is that this team needs to find a way to put 32 minutes together, try to find a way to put a complete game, as Abe from distance can't get it up and in, and Kavish can't rebound. That's a big change, as here comes 51, coast to coast, no good, rebounded by Abe. Much more energetic, much more free-flowing, as that one, it looked like it was knocked off of number 20's right foot. And indeed it will. Foul on the floor, so Abe will take the inbound pass on the baseline. Tom. Knocking, dancing, spinning, trying to find Kavish. Goes out towards Tom. Luke's calling for it. He's got it. Now goes towards Abe. .118 left to go in the first quarter. Abe, right wing three, rolls out. Henry Hall, good reach. And he gets it up. Won't get it in, but he will head to the free throw line to shoot two. Henry Smarto, as I mentioned, 11 points in the last game. 42 in terms of down low shooting. Free throws made, 1 for 3. Less than a minute to go in the first quarter, 52 seconds to be exact, as the first one is up and in. Henry Smarto, also known as Baby Jokic. Now, of course, we know what Nikola Jokic thinks about basketball, as we'll see another change coming in for the Greek Freaks. Eric Matsumoto. Abe Mogelson will head towards the bench. Or pardon me. Abe will stay in the game. Kavish is still on the court. Second free throw, no good. 13-10. Number 12 to take it up court. 15 seconds left. Going up against Eric. Getting his first playing time of this season 3 for the Greek Freaks. 7 seconds left. 12 against Kavish. Kavish grappling inside. Almost took it there. 12 out towards 51. He puts up a heat for glory. And it just rings out. So once again, the Greek Freaks within single digits of their opponents for the second consecutive time. And every time this season, but for the second consecutive time, they trail at the end of one, this time 13-10. Quick break here, and we'll be back for the second quarter right after this. One down, 3 to go here from the downtown Phoenix Sun Devil Fitness Complex. Greek Freaks down 13-10 against the Blue Jays. I'm Mihir Sinhasan. Thanks for tuning in on this Halloween night. The team once again remaining close as we start the second frame. Again, a few players out there, and a couple players that Andrew Durst mentioned in Coach's Corner. Luke Foster and Eric Matsumoto both out to start the second frame. Abe Mogelson, Henry Smarto, and Kavish Siddhartha will join them on court. This is a big game for the Greek Freaks here on Halloween night. Need the treats to fall. Need to be sweeter than a bunch of Almond Joys and Twixes. Or if you're me, Laffy Taffies and Starburst, as Abe almost gets it off number 20, who makes his first appearance of the day. Out towards 51 on the left wing, bring back towards 20, and that's a backcourt violation. Right there, going back towards the Greek Freaks. This is essentially a must-win game. This is the playoffs before the playoffs for the Greek Freaks. They need to win tonight, or at the very least, as we saw last year, they need to get a draw if they want to have any sort of chance making it to the playoffs in Tempe. They made it as such, I believe, as a 13 seed last year before falling to Tempe's side Binkus in single digits. Kavish, Tom, thought about the chance, now drives out towards the left wing, takes a shot, not the best look. 51-20 again, at a backcourt violation last time. Out of 21, right into the middle for 20, 53 and 51 also on the court. 20 for 3, bounced off. 75 seconds into the second quarter. Oh, how about that? Behind the back, and he gets it up and in. Oh my word, he is Baby Jokic and then some. Forget Baby Jokic. He's kindergarten Jokic. He's college Jokic. Henry Smarto makes it now a 1-point game. So number 20, the man who committed the backcourt violation, heading right towards Luke, who's wearing number 24 in maroon. He will now wear number 41. Number 12 will now be there. Number 20 will be closest towards Henry on the far side of the court. 6:31, clock stopped. Chance to tie. Off the front iron, rebounded by 41. 12. Oh, what a stop by Abe. going to go as a defensive foul in his favor. Already had 2 fouls, but that was an interesting stop there. Here's 12. Now to 41. If we get towards 40 points or so, we'll talk about candy. That's going to be an interesting topic. I asked Andy about it on Coach's Corner. As Tom, right wing 3. No good. Tom has struggled. He struggled from that spot in game 1. Missed there. 53. On left post. Towards 12 again. The Greek Freaks were able to take advantage in the second quarter last time. Again, as I mentioned before, trailing 9-4, they led 20-16 at half. Do the math, that's a 16-7 run. We're up by 13 at the end of the third quarter. The fourth quarter, well, the game was 3 quarters, they won. The game was 4 quarters, which it wasn't. Kavish reverse, no good. Henry rebound. Tom calls for it. Henry up, and he's sent towards the line again. Henry Smarto has found a way to put this team on his back this year that was not seen in Season 1 and not seen in Season 2. Captain of this team, got the captain designation, replacing Abe, who had it last year. Again, 3 different captains for this team. Luke Foster wore it Season 1, Abe Mogelson wore it Season 2, Henry wore it Season 3, as we now have a tie game. 51 will come onto the court for 20 for Blue Jays. Jacob Mitkoff now in the game for the Greek Freaks. Again, I'll talk to Andrew Durst next week in Coach's Corner about Jacob's playing minutes. Had a dislocated shoulder that kept him out of game 1 and essentially would have kept him out for the entire season. Henry made the second free throw. Whistle was blown. Seems like it will be in the Greek Freaks' favor, though. 14-13, they now lead. First lead of the day for them. Pardon me, now it is tied, so the whistle will be upheld. 4:20 left to go. Don't do 4:20, kids. It's not good for you. 41, up towards the wing for 12. 12, nifty move. Can't get it there. Goes back towards him. Scrumples on the ground. 41, left baseline. Stuffed by Kavish, and he's going to be called for the foul. And Kavish a little flabbergasted by that call. He's thinking, I didn't do anything. I didn't steal anything out of the candy jar. Wonder how much candy Kavish got on Halloween night. I'll tell you this. When I was a kid, I would go trick-or-treating. Now, my block where I would go and I would frequent every Halloween night in Cincinnati, Ohio, would maybe be about an hour trip. Started out as hour 15, hour 20. Started to be towards 45 minutes. And then afterwards, I would get all this candy. Now, keep in mind, I'm allergic to peanuts and tree nuts, so chocolate, anything chocolate-based candy is off the table for me. But the non-chocolate candy, Laffy Taffy, at times used to be my best friend. Starburst as well, Skittles, Nerds, everything. That's pretty dope. As Tom will take it up. Tom trying to be like Marshawn Lynch, who loves Skittles right now. Trying to go beast mode, triple teamed, as we approach 3 minutes left to go in the first half. Abe, right post, flicks it up, no good. Henry, triple team. Somehow gets the rebound. Took a shot. Ref calls it deflected. Will stay with the Greek Freaks. No foul on the play. Abe with the rebound. Jack, look, short. Jack McCarthy had an interesting day. Struggled for a while from the three-point line last year. Again, he's been known for shooting, especially in Season 1. Decided to mix it up going into this year. Again, was listed as a bench player, playing today because of the absence of Finn Hogan. As 41 drives to the bucket, flick with the right, wriggles out. 13-13, as head coach Andrew Durst will call his first timeout of the day with 2:11 left to go in the first half. 13-13, Greek Freaks lead, but it's been a very hotly contested game. And only 3 points put up in the second quarter. We'll be back in a few. 2:11. Jack plays it off towards Abe. 5 out there. Jacob, Henry, and Tom. Abe can't play towards Henry. Point guard center rotation hasn't worked that well this season, as Abe will play back towards 41. Turnovers, and missed chances on both sides. That's been the name of the game second quarter. 51 to the rack, no good. 21 will put it up and in. And that will be the first points of the half for the Blue Jays. 15-13, what has arguably been a defensive game so far, almost like in my fantasy football matchups. Highly contested, but a lot of them low scoring. Tom, blocked by 41, gets his rebound back. Towards Abe. Abe, triple team, slung out towards Henry. Jacob, first shot of the season. Rung off, rebounded by 12. Biggest change for the day, Henry Smarto being overworked and outworked too, as 12 goes towards ground. Foul called. 1:10, play clock stopped here from the Sun Devil Fitness Complex. 51 will take the inbound here. 51 with an interesting day so far. Amusing at times, as here's 41. Put back, no good. And the official's going to stop play for now. Kavish back in the game for Abe. Again, Kavish Siddhartha and Henry Smarto had a great matchup in their first game with each other. At front court, indomitable at times. 27 rebounds. Kavish with 12, Henry with 15. Kavish mostly on the defensive end, Henry mostly on the offensive end, if you want to know fun fact. 20. Flips it up. 41. Can't keep it in play. Less than a minute to go. Greek Freaks, the chance here to take the lead or tie it. Play clock stopped with 54.6, and now it continues on. Tom, 3. You betcha! Tom Penn starting to find a rhythm after a scoreless outing last week. Once again, the Greek Freaks have the lead. 51, circling around to 41. 20, on the right corner, Kavish. 12. Communication working pretty well against this Blue Jays side. Utilizes 2-3 as 41 will head to the rack to shoot 2. 21.7 seconds left. 41 did not put up a chance. Had a chance at a wide open shot before it. I believe it was 12 who put it up and in. That gave Blue Jays the lead, 15-13. 41 with a decent day so far. In terms of opponents, the Greek Freaks faced against Savages last week, number 55 had 12, all of them from behind the arc. Field goal percentages, 31% from the field is how the Savages went. 30% Greek Freaks went, as 41 will airball that. Luckily for him, he is not in UD Arena right now, because you know what they'd be saying. Shout out to Dayton, Ohio. 18 seconds left. Time to take it up the court. Last chance, maybe, the Greek Freaks, as Andrew notes 15 seconds. Tom, Kavish, spinning, turning, and he's got his first 2 points of the day. 3 seconds left. 12 at half court. Lays out towards 41, and the buzzer sounds, and he makes it! And they're going to count it. Number 41, after a rough day in the paint, with an absolute circus shot here to get a sweet treat for the Blue Jays. And with that, we head to halftime. 18-18 between the Greek Freaks and Blue Jays. And the Greek Freaks looking for another option. Once again, they were down in the first quarter, won the second quarter, hopefully trying to win the third and fourth to try to get their first win of the season and stay in playoff contention. I'll take a quick break, and I'll be back for more from the Sun Devil Fitness Complex here in downtown Phoenix in a few moments. Stay tuned. You're watching Greek Freak Basketball on my YouTube page. 1 half down, 1 half to go. 16 down, 16 to go here from the downtown Phoenix Sun Devil Fitness Complex. As the Greek Freaks look to try to get their first win of the season, they're tied 18-18 as we start off the second half. I'm Mahir Simhassan. Thanks for tuning in on Halloween night, a night of tricks, treats, ghosts, goblins, and what has been great play so far for both sides. 41 hands it off towards 12 on the baseline. Towards 41 again, outside, slaloms in, up and no good. Last touched, I believe, off Luke, and indeed it was. Joining Luke Foster on the court, Kavish Siddhartha, Jacob Mitkoff, Abe Mogelson, and Jack McCarthy. 20, 53 from the right corner, got it. 41, 51, 20, 12, and 53 who just shot the shot on the court for the Blue Jays. They had a close matchup last time as Kavish airballed there. Abe able to save it. Luke, top of the key three, no good. Tipped towards Kavish in the paint, no good. Not too much help as Henry Smarto, who was leading the charge on the front court, on the bench to start the second half. 12 from the top of the key will make it 24-18. Just elapsed 1 minute into the second half, and already the visitors up by 6. Abe, 3, ringed off. Greek Freaks need a win tonight if they want to keep playoff hopes alive. 41, take 2. Out towards the right side, deflected back towards 53, able to save it from the backcourt violation. 20, short. A chance for the Greek Freaks to catch their breath. Out towards Jackie on the right, towards Luke. Memphis Grizzlies fan, the Indiana Pacers fan getting with each other there. Turnover, back towards 20. Decides to go with a floater. No good. Rebound, banked in. 8-0 run so far. Andrew Durst used a timeout towards the end of the first half. About halfway through the second quarter. Jacob for 3. No good. 51 again. Double team by Kavish. No foul. So Luke gets the rebound. This team needs to try to find a way to establish point game. Jack's long 3 can't do it. 41 lost it. Not touched off a Greek Freak. He's trying to argue it was. Not going to get the plea. 5:22. 2 changes. Jacob off, Luke off, Eric on, and Henry on. So arguably the tallest player for the Greek Freaks and the shortest player for the Greek Freaks now on the court. Eric Matsumoto now going towards the right-hand side as Abe will take this one towards the three-point arc. Hot potato. Henry, Euro step, not by 41, but he's called for the foul. 4:50, clock continues to run. Henry Smarto once again heads to the free throw line. Been the most targeted guy today. Abe had 6 free throw attempts in the first game, Henry with 3, as he's back to the line now. First point of the third quarter for the Greek Freaks. 51 and 12 with a chance to counteract, and the 2 roommates last year, Eric and Jack, in the backcourt. Kavish and Abe on the flanks right next to Henry. Kavish almost got the rebound. So close. So close. Chance for a 3 or 4 point play there. 12. Dances to 20. 20. Not even close. Good defense, says Andrew Durst. I'd concur from up here in the booth. Eric, again, small guy, got bullied there. Here's 41 spinning his way up and in. $14, that is Jack. 3:39, now to Henry. Greek Freaks are not out of this one. We saw what happened last week. Eric thought about the chance. Eric, 5'5", 102 pounds. Kavish, low left post. Henry again, double teamed. Back with Jack, back for the 3. Another miss. 12. The other way, spinning. Oh, good pass towards 41. Redistributed out. 53. Back with 12. Henry had the rebound right in his hands. Take 2. Also no good. Batted away. We'll stay on this side of the court. 2:46, 21 checks in for Blue Jays. Tom checks in for the Greek Freaks. Heading off, Eric. Right towards Henry. Played off his foot. We'll do it again. 53, right wing 3, caught by Kavish. Here's Kavish Siddhartha. To Abe again. Abe dancing, laying. Can't get it up and in, but it had to the line. That's how they've got free throws. That's how they've got points so far in this third quarter as we have 2:06 left in it. Still a lot of chances. Still a lot of time left in this one. First one up. No good. Abe Mogelson, as I mentioned before, went 4 for 6 from the free throw line last week. On Halloween night, his team needs a miracle. 137, 51 on Jack. 53 trying to set a screen. Now here's 12 from the right wing. Rattled Henry rebounds. The Greek Freaks can get maybe a basket or two here to cut the lead to maybe 2 possessions, or 1 possibly. It's a much different game going into the fourth quarter. Tom, out to the right, beckons Henry down low. Henry off the glass and in. Great play and a great mustering there from the shooting guard. Shooting guard and point guard, too, for this team. Just like Steven Headache Smith without all the point shaving. 20, down low. Fade away, caught by Henry. Team starting to play defense, and Henry lost the ball. Will not be a reach-in foul. And the ref is not calling it, and Andrew Durst is going to take a timeout here. Whatever he saw, he did not like. Team's heading towards the bench. 35.7 left. What has been an interesting game. Abe doing so far so good. Henry as well. Both teams trying to stay out of foul trouble as Abe landed himself in that category last week. Hey, I mentioned Halloween, and we've got some interesting festivities going on. Of course, a lot of the guys were out there over the weekend. Head coach Andrew Durst was with his girl. They went as Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce. And of course, Andrew, being a Chiefs fan, took his Patrick Mahomes jersey, basically taped Kelce over it. Honestly, all right. It's not bad. I would have probably respected more effort on the 87, though. You see, when I went downtown. I was tailgating when Taylor Swift was in town. And I took my Joe Burrow jersey because it happened at Paycor Stadium in Cincinnati. And I basically taped over the Burrow part, put Swift on it, and then I put a 13. Unfortunately, the 13 was ringed off, fresh off going to the Reds game before the Taylor Swift concert. By the way, I was outside the stadium when that happened. I was outside the stadium. I wasn't inside. I don't pay that type of money. As 12, can't get the money there going towards the rack, but it'll go to the charity stripe to shoot 2. 25 seconds left. Clock continues to run. 28-22 game. A chance to make this back to a 3-ball game with this free throw, and it's missed. Number 12 has been a shifty character, especially when it comes to driving in the paint. 7 seconds left. Clock continues to run here. Andrew Durst content to just let this one play out as it's missed. Goes back towards 12. Put up, no good. So we head to the fourth quarter, a 2-ball game. Greek Freaks now down 28-22. Again, a lot of chances, especially from the front court. Defense starting to show up, especially later in the third. We now head to the witching hour, and the Greek Freaks are now the ones that will have to pull the comeback. Well, what a day to have a fourth quarter called a witching hour. It's Halloween night, and the Greek Freaks are down by 6. They need to turn what would be a loss into a win to stay in playoff contention. I'm Mihir Sinhasan. Thanks for tuning in on this Tuesday night from the downtown Phoenix Sun Devil Fitness Complex. The boys back out there. They need to play like dogs. They need to play like dogs to keep their hopes alive, and they need at least a win or a draw against the Mercs next week, who are sophomores much like them. Ball fired off of 41's foot by Abe. Joining Abe on the court, Henry Smarto, Tom Penn, Kavish Siddhartha, and Jack McCarthy, the same 5 that started off this game. Abe inbound towards Henry. With 12 again. With Tom, double teamed, back towards him. Abe, Henry, down low, double teamed. Had the shooting motion, so he'll head to the line. So far, that has been the biggest point of production for the Greek Freaks in the second half, as we have 6:51 left in regulation. As it was last year, games did not go to overtime. So if the game is tied, it will end in a tie. That one's no good. Tony will now check in for 53 of the Blue Jays. Again, had one close matchup, 44-42. They won last week. And a close battle once again. Hoping to try to close this one out early so they don't have to wait till the waning moments to get the W. 51 up court. Out with 41 on the left wing towards 12. In space, layup no good. And Kavish doing much better on the defensive side of things with rebounds. Tom, Kavish lofts it over towards Jack, towards Tom. Tom, 3, off towards the right, caught by 41. 5:40 left as 41 sees the lane. Euro steps, and Abe's going to be called for the foul maybe. Abe a little flabbergasted by that foul. Rightfully so. They're going to call it a shooting foul here as 41 heads towards the line. 5:20 left. Not sure why the clock reads 30-27 in favor of the Blue Jays, but it does. Board is up and in. So I think what happens here. So what happened was they gave 41 the points, and then they sent him and one. As Abe flips out towards Henry. Just double teamed, but he gets it up and in. Did he? They're going to call the foul, but he goes up and he gets it. Henry Smarto. Up and no good. 2-point game here from the STFC. As it is right now. 2 points. 12. (20) 51. (41) driving up. Will be fouled there. Less than 4 minutes to go. Greek Freaks in a tight, close battle. Down by 2. Jacob now coming in for the Greek Freaks. And Abe will head off. Andy trying to keep Abe off the court as he's picking up fouls. Cannot afford one of his best players to be fouled out. 41 will get it up and in. 3-point game, 3:26 left. Got it there. Back to a 2-ball game. Greek Freaks in need of something. Jacob, wide open 3. Can't get it. Now to 20. 41. Euro step. Got it. And now the Greek Freaks once again down by 6. Less than 3 minutes left. Need some help. Tom. And he was the one that said we got to lock in the first game. As Kavish with a circus shot, no good. Henry, fade, also battles out. (12) again. Out with 41. 41 on the right, spinning towards 12. 3-pointer, sunk. Last 7 points, at least, have gone to the Blue Jays. 2:09. Greek Freaks once again in dire straits. Towards Kavish again. Kavish towards the rack. Fouled. 41 to block him there. 1:59. Play clock stopped for now. Is number 1 in medical scrubs will now check in. Now the referee will check number 1 back out. Tom is saying that it should be a timeout. Timeout, at the very least, free throws because of the substitution. Number 1 not permitted to go on the court for now. First free throw missed by Kavish. And now number 1 will check in. Now towards number 1 again. In the scrubs, going forward, lane up. No good. Rebounded back by Jack. 149. Tom, right corner. Jiggles around, and he's got it. Might be the spark of hope this team needs. 41. Down low, can't get the travel. And now the referee calls it for travel. Timeout taken, 1:33 left. We've got a game rolling down to the wire, folks, here at the SDFC. Stay tuned. I'll be back in a bit. 1:33 left to go in regulation. The Greek Freaks need 5 points to tie, 6 points to take the lead here against the Blue Jays. Both of these teams in close battles last week. Greek Freaks losing 40-34. Blue Jays winning 44-42. Ball will be with the Greek Freaks with Tom on the side. Can't tell who's coming in. It looks like Tom's just talking with the ref. Again, Tom, an official himself, officiated some of the softball games for the Greek Freaks. Or rather, not the Greek Freaks, although he did ref some of the Greek Freak games in Season 2. What I meant to say was the Little Dingies. Either way, it'll actually be with the Blue Jays. 1:30 left. 1 up against Tom. Out with 51. Switch towards 12. 12. Close towards the back court. Jacob can't intercept. 51 towards 1. Full out scramble defense for the Greek Freaks. Kavish got the last touch. Will stay with the Blue Jays. 109, and now with 110. Clock stopped. Clock stopping many times. Number 1 will take the ball here. Now towards 12. Towards 1 again. Left elbow. Jack fighting. Looks like he was fouled there. So reach and foul called on Jack McCarthy. Still got a few fouls left before Blue Jays start going toward the free throw line, and they might need one more. Maybe 1 or 2, let's see. Towards 21, I should say, in the corner. 51. Bustling around towards 21, lofted towards a 1. Takes a shot. Jack gets it towards Jacob. That's a good catch. Up against 1. 1 with the poke, 12 with the steal, and behind the back. 12 fouled in the process as 1 will dunk. 37.8 seconds left, and the official, it seems like, is in shambles right now. Both of them. So now it's going there. One official is trying to sort things out. The other official does not really know what's going on because this is what's occurring. So right now, Tom Penn is at the free throw line. 37.8 seconds left. It's Halloween night, folks. You never know what you can expect. Like I said, Tom is already at the free throw line. I believe it will be a technical called. 2 free throws coming up for the Greek Freaks. Big switch of momentum here. And there's some discrepancy on the rules. Able to sort it out here. Tom sinks both. Back to a 1-ball game here at the Sun Devil Fitness Complex. Greek Freaks were down by 9 just a few minutes ago. Officials and both teams in disarray. So now, Blue Jays get it back here at 37.8. Question is, do you foul again? As one will get the ball back. Up against Kavish. Kavish fouls. And so the fouling game continues. Andrew Durst wants to use the majority amount of fouls if possible. 34.5 seconds left. One, fouled again off Jacob. 31.9 seconds left. Every time the Greek Freaks are doing this, about 2 to 3 seconds come off the clock. Need to be quicker. Dancing around, lofted towards one again. Fouled again, 29.9 seconds left. Tom again, lofted towards one. Foul again on Jacob. And so with that, the fouling game is concluded. Number one, fresh off the scrubs, fresh out of the lab, will go to the free throw line. Again, a little disarray on what is the college rule, what is the NBA rule, and what we're following here. 27.6 seconds left. One to the free throw line. Misses the first. If he misses here, it's a one-ball game. No good. Rebounded by 41. He lost it, though. It's in the backcourt. And it's back with the Greek Freaks. 24.1 left. And if they play their cards right, a chance to tie. Timeout called by Andrew Durst. The Greek Freaks are starting to get freaky here late in this one. Can they get of the official climax as we have 24.1 seconds left? Final minute. A minute that has felt like an eternity here from the Sun Devil Fitness Complex. Greek Freaks, who were once down 38-29, are only down 38-35 now. Inbound pass to come from the side whenever it comes. Jack will take it. Team can get some points here, much needed, as it's out towards Tom on the left. Blue Jays said in the huddle, we're not allowing any threes. What happens here? Tom towards Jacob. 13 seconds. They continue to hold the ball. Now with Tom again. Tom dancing around. 7 seconds left. Back towards Jack. Heat for glory. No good. Back towards 41. And that will do it. And for the second time in 3 seasons, the Greek Freaks will miss the playoffs. 0-2 to start off this fall 2023 season as they fall 38-35 to the Blue Jays. Again, Henry Smarto with a solid performance. Some circus shots up in the middle as well. Kavish Siddhartha as well in the front court. Abe Mogelson with a better performance today as Andrew Durst's crew heads back towards the bench. Again, as I mentioned in the pregame, they were depleted in this game. No Finn Hogan, no Declan Membrila, no Jason Wright. Jacob Mitkoff coming back in. He provided some spark. But now as they face the Mercs, again, a fellow class of 2026 guys, next Wednesday, that will be an interesting game as it goes down the stretch. Shot clock off here at the Sun Devil Fitness Complex to represent the final of this one. Again, what a Halloween night. What a game between these two sides. Greek Freaks over there, Blue Jays right in front over here. Final score here from the Sun Devil Fitness Complex. Blue Jays 38, Greek Freaks 35. For the entire crew, thanks for tuning in to my YouTube page. I'm Yahir Hassan. So long, good night, and stay safe.